The dish I'm making today is beef stroganoff. I'm taking this timeless classic and revamping it to my own standard. Now, stroganoff itself was created in the early 1800s for a Count Pavel Alexandrovich Stroganoff, where this family and most families back then would hire French cooks. And these French cooks, and I suppose this is where we always kind of the fusion side of things, French, Russian kind of meets, where they would hire French chefs and they would marinate the beef with a basic French mustard, then finish the dish off with some Russian sour cream. My choice of beef today is rump steak. It's what I've got at hand. Now, traditionally it would be made with beef fillet, tender and it cooks quick. I've also made it with stewing steak, where we fry off the beef, get it nice and sealed, and then carry on with the rest of the dish, which you will see. So that's my choice of meat today. To serve with it, it is traditionally served with straw fries or French fries, but there have been dishes where it's been served with rice, egg noodles, and even mashed potatoes. I'm serving today with a good quality wild rice, which we will talk about very shortly. Other ingredients: chestnut mushrooms, some gherkins to add a bit of sharpness into this dish, which will offer some light relief. We have got 2 cloves of garlic finely chopped, 1 small onion thinly sliced, 25 grams of butter, some creme fraiche, about 3 good tablespoons. I've got a teaspoon of tarragon here. You can use parsley if you wanted, but I do like tarragon in this dish. And some Liam parents. Not French mustard, but English mustard. I'm using mustard powder. Now for the rice, the wild rice, it's fantastic. It's got good flavor. It's got really good flavor compared to your normal rice. It's going to take about 45 minutes to cook, so I'm going to get this on just now. Into salted water, I'm after about, for 2 portions, about 180 grams, which is roughly half this jar. Just give that a wee stir. Now this is a mix of wild rice, and the flavour is phenomenal. Now what we're looking for, we'll sort of check it in about 30-35 minutes. What we're looking for is, we want the rice to have a bit of bite, and it almost sort of splits open, and that gives you an indication of when it is ready to come off. And the beauty about this is as well, okay, it takes about 40-45 minutes to cook, but once we've cooked it, we've got the option of freezing it as well. It freezes really well. So I'll pop the lid on there, and in about 30 minutes we're going to carry on with the rest of the dish. So the rice has been on now for about 30 minutes. Another key point would be, when you're cooking rice, you want 3 times the amount of water, if not more, to your rice. So if the rice comes to about here, you fill the pan to about here with water. That allows the rice to flow freely and fly around the pan in the water, rather than being all compact and nowhere for it to move. Into my pan, a knob of butter. Get that started off. Then in with our finely sliced onion. So we just want to cook the onion with no colour. Again, to help that, we're going to add a few turns of salt. That's just going to extract moisture from the onion. Just give that a few minutes just to come up to temperature. Now the pan's coming up to temperature. Just want the onions just nicely softened and almost translucent. Now at this stage, I'm going with 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Again, being careful not to burn the garlic, so we don't want that bitter flavour coming through. Beautiful. something satisfying just with the smell of onions sweating off with garlic and a bit of butter. Now in with our mushrooms. I've got about 200 grams of mushrooms. You can use button mushrooms if you want. And again, we'll just sweat that off for a few minutes. Another key point, the mushrooms were just wiped with some kitchen paper to get some of that dirt off. Do not be tempted to submerge these mushrooms in any water because they'll just act like a sponge and absorb more water. So just a nice dry wipe with some kitchen towel. Now that's sweated off nicely. I'm going to go in with a tablespoon of green pepper sauce. It's going to give a nice depth of flavour to the finished dish. I'm now in with about 400 millilitres of beef stock, and we just want to reduce that down by about half. So now it's just about come down by half. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm just into a warm bowl. Just tip it in there. Give a pan a wee dry wipe. Save on the washing up. Straight back on the heat. Now we'll get that pan nice and hot. We'll just leave that on the side just to keep warm. Now into the pan we're going to fry the beef. Now when it comes to frying the beef, I'll say this now because with all the noise for the frying, we want to cook the beef just so it's still pink in the middle. You can cook it to whatever degree you want, but it would just be nice and just pink in the middle. If you don't want to use beef, you can use chicken. If you want to do a veggie one, a selection of vegetables. It's really up to you. Another thing that I found the other week was jackfruit in brine. Absolutely stunning for a veggie option. So into the pan, a couple of tablespoons of oil. You want this smoking hot. So the oil is now smoky hot. We'll go in with the beef. We want all this to happen very, very quickly. So just disperse that around the pan. And we'll just give it the odd nudge. We don't want to move around too much because the pan will cool down. I've got about 300 grams of beef here, just over 300 grams actually, which is the ideal serving for 2 people. Now at this stage I'm going to add our mustard powder. I'm going to add a teaspoon of mustard powder to this. This is just going to give it a nice heat to it. You can use French mustard, Dijon mustard. Plenty of cracked black pepper in there. You could, if you wanted to at this stage, put a brandy in there, flambe it. Now we're going in with our mushrooms and onions. Now we caught the beef at the right time. Now in with our teaspoon of tarragon, in with our gherkins, Now to finish off with our creme fraiche. Give it a good stir. That's going to give it a nice richness. Now, be under no illusions when it comes to creme fraiche. People think it's a healthier option, but it's all to do with the fat content in there. You could use sour cream if you wanted. Make sure it's all nice and mixed. Just want to take that up to simmer. See already how rich that's looking, and how the creme fraiche has almost thickened our dish. And just check for seasoning.
Was that spoon dirty because it looked dirty?
Just a touch more salt. More black pepper. One final touch to freshen it all up. Nice squeeze of lemon juice. I'll turn the heat down, or off even. I don't want to cook any more than that. And all that's left to do now is strain the rice and serve. Now to plate up, I'm just going to take my wild rice and just see how it's just, the husks are just split now. So that's actually taken the 45 minutes, the full 45 minutes, and it still has a nice bite to it. But again, the flavour of this rice, it's just so special compared to the normal rice we're used to. And the stroganoff, it's lovely and creamy. I want to get a balance of everything in there. The beef, the tender onions and mushrooms, and the occasional gherkin in there, which will give us that piquancy and just cut through the richness of that sauce and the beef. Now there we have my beef stroganoff. Enjoy.